one and all, to the Wednesday night stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're ready to talk some Marvel and DC talk. Hope you're ready for a fun stream. I think we have a fun stream in store. I think we're going to have a good time here in the basement tonight. So fill your cup and light that smoke, because it's time to get nerdy. Well, hello and good evening. Welcome to the basement. How are we all doing tonight? It is Wednesday night, which means it's stream night. What's up, Spicy Dan? Daniel Hop in this bitch. Brooke Chan, what's going on, my guy? Order some gyros and fries for dinner. This should be a good dinner to go along with a fun stream. Hell yeah. I mean, I eat gyro-like foods, but I don't actually eat gyros. I hate tzatziki sauce. I'm just going to put that right out there right now, all in the open. I'm not ashamed. I do not like tzatziki sauce. You know why I don't like tzatziki sauce? Because I don't like yogurt. That's why. But I will eat gyro-similar things, like things I enjoy wrapped up in a pita bread is awesome. Like, there's a lot of stuff I like, and you can wrap it in pita bread, and it's fucking delicious. So that's what I do. I get gyro similar sandwiches, but I never get an actual gyro. The new Flash Absolute comic, I only know because Rob has a video on it. Oh yeah, actually I got the notification when Rob dropped that video. Yeah, they're slowly building up the Absolute Justice League. Have they done the Absolute Lantern yet? Do you know? I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, like, if I was bowling, I would have every fucking Absolute line comic that currently exists. I do have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman number ones of the Absolutes, so I'm a bit behind. And they were really good. But I have bigger fish to fry than running on down to the comic shop. It's just how life be going. It will not always be that way, though. Someday, there will be a legitimate, actual comic budget. It won't be big, because, like, I could spend a shit ton of money on comics. Omnibuses of the shit I have not previously owned, getting caught up on, you know, much more recent stuff. Yeah. Love it. Oh yeah, garlic fries are the shit, bro. Hell yeah. I love garlic fries too. They're delicious. Okay, so just Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Superman. Okay, cool. Cool. But they're on like issue 3 or 4 of, or maybe even 5 of Batman. What order do they come out in? Batman, then Superman, then Wonder Woman, then Flash, right? Yeah, they got to be on Absolute Batman 4 or maybe even 5 by now. Maybe even 6. Can't remember. And then what? Superman and Wonder Woman are like a month or 2 behind Batman, or an issue or 2, what have you. Something like that. Something similar. I could Google, but I don't want to. Batman, then Superman, then Wonder Woman? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck is that? Get out of my face. That's a mobile. Click that button and cool. Cool. There was some comics leading up to these absolute comics that had some lore on Darkseid creating his own universe or something. Oh, really? Oh, really? Cool. There's Spicy Dan. What's happening? What's happening, man? Can't wait to see Darkseid in live action in the theaters at some point. Well, you mean outside of the Snyder Cut? Well, that was what was that? That had a theater run, didn't it, or didn't it? I don't remember. So yeah, if that never saw the inside of a theater, then yes, I would love to see Darkseid in a theater. But there's a few things got to happen first before Gunn will even come close to getting to Darkseid. First of all, Superman's got to hit, and Supergirl's got to hit. Lanterns has to hit. They ain't spending much on Clayface or Sergeant Rock. They should be spending nothing and not bothering to make those, but you know what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, like they still got to introduce their Batman. They still have to introduce their Wonder Woman. Like he's got to build the fucking Justice League before he can even think about bringing in Darkseid. And out of the entire Justice League, we have, that we know of, Superman. Technically, yes, an older Hal Jordan, although he's going to be passing the mantle on to the other guy, whose name escapes me right now. God damn it. Jon Stewart. So Jon Stewart will probably end up in the Justice League. I don't think Guy Gardner is going to. But yeah, we still have no Batman. We still have no Wonder Woman. We do have Hawk Girl. That is Hawk Girl that's in Superman, right? So we got a few, but we require many more. And among those many more is the other two members of the Trinity. And if you don't have the Trinity, you don't have a fucking Justice League. So it's going to be a long time before we see Darkseid in James Gunn's DCU. Wonder what James Gunn's take on Darkseid would be, says Brooke. Well, I don't know, but it scares me. At least, I mean, after I see Superman, I might not be worried anymore. You know, that could happen. Gunn could have done a fucking magnificent job on Superman, and I would be happy about it. I love Superman. If Gunn delivers a damn fine Superman movie, I'll be fucking ecstatic. Like, I'm all about that. Marvel needs the pressure. Anyway. So there's quite a few reasons why I hope Superman does well. One, I just want a good fucking Superman movie. Haven't had one since Man of Steel. And the last really good one before Man of Steel was Superman 2. Christopher Reeve. So there's been kind of a dearth of good Superman movies. So yeah, I am ready for a good Superman movie. So I really fucking hope it's good. And then, of course, there are the outside considerations, such as Marvel needing some pressure from DC cinematically. Evidently, they're getting plenty on the comic book front. But, yeah, I want Superman to succeed for multiple reasons, on multiple levels. But yeah, that's step one. Superman slapping and making bank is step one to Darkseid. It's a big step because it's a successful Superman bodes very well for the rest of your universe. But it's still only step one. Jorge Castillo, what's going on, man? Good to see you. How you been? Thanks for popping in, my guy. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that pops in, whether they're popping in right meow live or have been kind enough to click on the replay. I thank you as well. And if you guys would be so kind as to pretty please hit the thumbs up button. And if you have not done so already, pretty please also hit the subscribe and the notification bell. That helps my little channel out. And I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Brooke says, very crazy with James Gunn. So much riding on Superman this year. Yeah? Busy, says Jorge. Catching up with Daredevil and Invincible. Yeah. Well, if your tastes are anything like mine, Senor Castillo, you are going to enjoy both immensely. So, I think you're going to enjoy yourself with both those shows. I really, really do. Invincible Season 3 finale was great. Yeah, that was some epic shit right there. That was some epic shit. Hell yeah. But yeah, like, there's a lot riding on Superman. It's not just the future of the DCU. It could very well be the future of Warner Brothers as a studio. Like, there's an article out last week about that. Like, there are insiders at Warner Brothers saying that a bad performance by Superman wouldn't just harm the DC studios. It would harm Warner Brothers Studios. So yeah, a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on that movie. More than that movie probably should have on it. But that's the way it is. That's where things stand over there on the movie side. However, I'm going to go ahead and use that as a segue into our first topic. What up, Delta Dan? How you doing, man? Glad to see you. Appreciate you stopping in. But, yeah. Speaking of DC and Marvel, as I referenced Marvel, Brennan, what's going on, man? Excuse me, you doing all right, buddy? We missed you too. Always good to see you in the chat. It's always good to see anyone in the chat, like, real talk. Oh, you're only through episode 2 of Born Again? Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. And this only, about the next 2 episodes, 3 and 4. Because 4 is the one that just wrapped this week. They are by a large margin much more character-driven than action-driven. I will say that. But, for me at least, the character work is fucking phenomenal. Especially in episode 4. My God. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I actually am going to talk about episode 4 a little bit later, so... But I will warn, since you have not seen it, so you can dip out. And then, you know, you can always click back on the replay for the rest of the stream and see if you agree with what I be saying. Oh, you do love that shit? Good. Yeah, then you're going to enjoy the next 2 episodes immensely. Yes, you will. Oh, you don't mind spoilers? Well, then, bitch it. Hang out for the whole stream then, bro. Second half of episode 4 was fire. Yes, it was. We will be talking about episode 4. For sure. But our first subject of the evening. Not a kind of a massive deal, but on the other hand, not a massive deal, but it is a massive deal. I do agree, Brooke. I hope the second half of the show is going to be super brutal. And I think a fair chunk of it will be. So, anywho. So, question for you, you guys. Do you all remember this? You know what this is? This is the last time DC and Marvel crossed over, and they created what's called the Amalgam Universe, which is they took characters from each universe and kind of smashed them together. Like, for example, we have a Captain America Superman combo. We have a Batman Wolverine combo. Looks like maybe a Spider Robin combo. Or a Spider Superboy combo, because he's got the shield there. So it might be Spider-Man Superboy combo. Hawkeye and somebody, I'm guessing. Doctor Strange and... Oh, fuck, what's that guy's name? Yeah, Dark Claw. Hell yeah. The dude that was in fucking Black Adam. This motherfucker right here. I can't remember the DC guy's name, but that's Doctor Strange and... Oh, Fate. That's Strange and Fate mixed together. Doom and I'm not sure who. Storm's mixed with Wonder Woman. I feel like that might be... I can't tell if that's a Nightcrawler or a Gambit mixed with a DC guy. I feel like it's Gambit because of the hair and the staff and the trench coat. And then we got Green Goblin mixed with... Oh, I should know who that is. But yeah. Yeah, Dr. Fate, thank you. Storm, Wonder Woman. Oh, that was this is Nightcrawler. Okay. Yes, the legendary Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. So this was the Amalgam Comics. This is the last time DC and Marvel crossed over. Okay. I actually did a video on it a while back. You guys should go look for that. If I was smart, I'd have put the link in the description, but I'm not. But I should at least mention its existence. I did do a video on the Amalgam Universe a while back. But, chat, DC and Marvel are hooking up again. This is an article from Screen Rant. It says, brace yourselves. Marvel and DC just announced its next big crossover event. Get ready, Marvel and DC Comics fans, because the two titans of superhero comics are finally coming back together. The heydays of Marvel and DC crossovers might be long gone, but both publishers are entering a new era as Marvel and DC are committing to uniting their universes once more. At Comics Pro, Marvel Comics Editor-in-Chief C.B. Cebulski and DC Comics Editor-in-Chief Marie Javins, anyway, whatever the hell her last name is, spoke after the keynote speech and discussed the recent reprint collections DC vs. Marvel Omnibus and DC Marvel The Amalgam Age Omnibus. Cebulski noted that it's been over 2 decades since the last DC and Marvel crossover and floated the idea of a modern one. In a moment that shocked the audience, the editors confirmed that there would be 2 Marvel and DC Comics crossovers later this year, one produced by each publisher. Neither characters nor creative teams were confirmed, but the crossover will indeed be a reality. It comes as no surprise that as the two biggest publishers of superhero stories, Marvel and DC have a history of using one another's characters. Back in 1976, the big two brought the Man of Steel and the iconic Wallcrawler together in Superman Spider-Man, starting a long history of fan favorite tales that bridged the two universes. The publishers had dozens of stories that united their iconic characters, even fusing them together to create an entirely new universe and imprint known as Amalgam Comics, which was fucking dope. However, the fun ended with JLA Avengers in 2003. Oh shit, I was wrong. I forgot about that one. The last official crossover between Marvel and DC. Okay, so there was that one after Amalgam. My bad. But this changes everything. For the first time in over 20 years, both Marvel Comics and DC Comics are willing to dip their toes back in the crossover pool and give readers something they haven't had in years. That's what she said. Unfortunately, there's no details to go off just yet, and it's hard to tell if these one-shots will be a sequel to the JLA Avengers or a continuation of the Amalgam universe. But the fact that both companies are willing to at least try is a monumental thing. If this goes well, this could be just the start of even more Marvel DC crossovers. Again, it's too early to tell what's about to come from this crossover. It could very well just be a couple of fun one-offs that Marvel and DC figure would be interesting to try, please no. However, these one-shots could be both publishers trying to gauge interest among fans, and let's face it, most fans would love to see a new Marvel DC crossover. Yes, we would. There's an entire generation who missed out on the thrills of seeing Marvel and DC interact. Well, at least when it first happened, yes, that is true. But if fans show the demand is there, this could lead to an exciting new period for both publishers. Fans are going to have to wait a bit longer until they have concrete details about this new crossover. But for now, it's enough to start building the hype that will hopefully show both publishers how badly readers would love to see more stories that bring these two worlds together. Hopefully, Marvel and DC have a big story in mind, because there's no doubt expectations are going to be through the roof for this upcoming crossover. I have to say I agree 100% with that last sentence. Expectations are going to be fucking crazy. People are going to want a big story and not just oh, hey, this kind of sounds fun, let's do it. People want Marvel DC crossover shit. They want good Marvel DC crossover shit, but they want it. Executive Judge, what up? Brooke says, I can't wait for Rob to cover these new comics. Yeah, I mean, right? I need to get back into watching some Rob videos. Especially since we're, what, a little less than 14 months away from Doomsday? Batman and Iron Man working together. Almost unbeatable combination. Yeah. I mean, not even Batman's time to plan can beat when Batman has time to plan. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jorge says, remember during the 2000s, went to visit the U.S. and bought a lot of crossover. Batman Daredevil, Batman Punisher, Batman Azrael, Batman Punisher, Batman Captain America. They were all awesome. I mean, yeah, Batman Punisher. That sounds dope. How was Vegas? Vegas was awesome. Tiring, but awesome. I consumed a ridiculous amount of THC in Vegas. Jesus Christ. Executive says, I'm supposed to be doing homework, but I'm going to be irresponsible and procrastinate on the stream. Ha ha ha. I would love to give you shit for that, but in all honesty, me too. Yeah, Batman does have a no killing and for the most part no guns rule. I mean, Frank Miller fucked around with that just a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, that's kind of how it works. He don't do guns. He don't do killing. Yeah. Punisher is more morally gray. Punisher is amoral. Meaning, he does not care about traditional morals, as it were. He has his own set of values, and that's all he cares about. That's it. Yeah, you're right, Jorge. It does all depend on the writer. Brooke says, what if the DC and Marvel superheroes team up and fought the Batman Who Laughs variant? That would be dope. Yeah, I've heard that dude is freaky. Batman Who Laughs is just crazy with how he utilizes guns and tricks and stuff. I should watch Rob's video on that. I know he's got one. I've seen it. Like, I've seen the thumbnail, I should say. I haven't watched the video, obviously. I just said I need to. But yeah, so we're getting a new Marvel and DC crossover. We don't know when exactly. We don't know what it's going to be about. But we do know we're getting 2 one-shots, one from each publisher. And yeah, and if they're dope and a shit ton of people buy them, hopefully hopefully screen rant here is right, and that this being super popular leads to more crossovers more quickly. The Batman Who Laughs would need to be paired up with someone like Batman Who Laughs and Null. Well, first of all, Null would just eat him. But he'd just be like, I don't care about you, bitch. You're just a Batman. That would be an interesting pairing, though. Because, let's face it, Null could destroy him easily, but he could also find lots of use for him, too. Are you talking like them two kind of push together into one? That would be creepy. Like a Null Who Laughs. That would be fucking wild. A Null? The Null that laughs. Yeesh. Never would be the end of us? Yeah, it would. Null that laughs. Good God. Brooke says, I guess Batman Who Laughs, once he figures out how to get cosmic powers, I think Null could make use of Batman Who Laughs' intellect. Oh, definitely. Oh, he'd definitely use him. He'd use him until he didn't think he was useful anymore. And then he'd probably infect him with a symbiote and call it a day. That's just what I think would happen. But that is, even though we have jack shit for details, I find that to be exciting news, and from the looks of things in chat, you guys do too. If you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment and tell me your thoughts. Batman has one of the highest levels of intellect in the DC universe. That is very true. Pair that with Batman Who Laughs' levels of cruelty and sadisticness combined with Null's immense cosmic power, desire for darkness. Jesus Christ. Brooke follows up with, actually, to be honest, maybe this villain would be just way too OP. I think maybe. That'd be a crazy ass fucking cosmic story, and it would take a lot of heroes to deal with that shit. That's for damn sure. They could center a whole crossover event around that motherfucker. That would be cool, honestly. The Null Who Laughs could be the big bad for a crossover event. How crazy would that be? They'd have to start crossing over like some of Marvel's big cosmic fucking hitters with like lanterns and shit. God Emperor Doom versus Batman. God damn it. Batman Who Laughs Null Hybrid Fusion. I would love it. Ooh. God Emperor Doom versus the Batman Who Laughs Null Fusion. Yeah. If you'd have said regular Doom, even against Null, that'd be tight because Null is a primordial force technically. Um, However, Doom is Doom, and God Emperor Doom, Jesus, yeah, with the power of the Beyonders at his disposal, that would be crazy. Digger Joe says, I do not want a full blown Marvel DC on screen till I'm dang near 80 in my sugar daddy era. Okay. I'll be dead, so I kind of want it a little sooner. But right now we're just talking about comics. The comics are doing a 2 one-shot crossover thing. A one shot from each. God Emperor Doom with regular Batman's planning and foresight versus No Who Laughs. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know who wins that, but the collateral damage would be immense. Like, on the order of the collapse of the multiverse. If those two fought. Holy crap. That'd be a crazy ass story. I don't know how you'd get there, but that'd be a crazy ass story. I'd enjoy it. All right. Let us talk about Daredevil. Not the episode yet. Let us talk about how it was saved by the actors. First, there's this article from the Hollywood Reporter. Charlie Cox applauds Marvel for Daredevil creative overhaul. We ended up in the place we wanted. Nearly 7 years after Daredevil was canceled at Netflix, Daredevil Born Again has risen from the ashes. It's been a long journey to get here, though, as after 3 seasons at Netflix and a revival at Disney, the series was paused during the writers and actors strikes, which then led to a full creative overhaul. Dario Scartapane was brought in as the new showrunner, with Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead as directors. After stars Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio had expressed their concerns to Marvel about where the series was going. Sorry, I had that sudden itch. One of the most amazing things about working for this company was their ability to look at what we were making, listen to the things Vince and I had to say about it, and pivot. Decide, you know what? This isn't quite the right direction, and we know how we can change it and make it better, Cox told The Hollywood Reporter at the show's New York premiere on Monday. I don't know many companies that would do that. That takes a lot of personnel. It takes a lot of money. So it's so cool to be standing here today and feeling thrilled with the product that we ended up in the place we wanted to be. D'Onofrio echoed the support they've had from, quote, all the big bosses all the way down to the crews, with a particular shout out to the fans who, quote, made their voices really loud for us, and it's really pretty amazing that we're here, and it has a lot to do with them. Cox added, I don't think without them that we're stood right here now, honestly. What the fuck is that sentence? He must have gotten really British with that one. Okay. Okay, that's going back to, yeah. Scartapane talking about that, yeah. Is that fun? Yeah. Okay, so. What if Warhammer did a crossover with Marvel / oh my god, yeah. Josh would lose his goddamn mind is what he'd do. I'm not sure if it'd be positively or negatively because, he doesn't have that high opinion of DC at all. And let's face it, lately he's not been super glazy about Marvel either. So I don't know if he'd really love that, but he'd definitely lose his shit. I'm just not sure if it'd be in a positive way or a negative way. Anyway. The main point that I wanted to dig out of this article is that part of the reason if Cox is to be believed, a fairly large part of the reason that overhaul happened is because of the pressure they put on Marvel themselves. Like this is not the first time we've heard that. Like when they first started filming, we heard that. Well, they never actually came out and said they were unhappy with the direction. You got to kind of read the subtext of their quotes, but especially D'Onofrio, he was talking about how it's really different from the Netflix show. This is like when they first started filming, and it's gonna go directions no one anticipated. The usual code talk for these motherfuckers are gonna fuck this up. So between the strikes giving Marvel the opportunity to really see what Cox and D'Onofrio were talking about, and then going, fucking shit, they're right. Gotta fix this. All y'all bitches are fired, and we're hiring these people. And now we're where we're at. And I, for one, am super grateful to those two for applying that pressure at the right time. But they're not the only ones who are not overly thrilled with the direction the original plan for Daredevil Born Again was going. Jon Bernthal, the actor playing Frank Castle, a.k.a. The Punisher, also had a few things to say. From Entertainment Weekly, this comes. Jon Bernthal on his two-dip Daredevil return and no holds barred Punisher in TV special. Exclusive. Warning, this article contains spoilers from Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4. There's your warning. I read it. Matt Murdock's reunion with Frank Castle on the 4th episode of Daredevil Born Again isn't exactly warm. No, but it's fucking epic. In his pursuit to find the one who killed Hector Ayala, played by Camar de los Reyes, rest in peace, good sir, cancer got him. With a bullet emblazoned with the Punisher's skull insignia, Charlie Cox's blind attorney tracks down the Punisher himself, who nearly hacks off his head with an axe. And hello to you too, old chum. For as hostile as the scene began, marking Jon Bernthal's first time in the role since Netflix's The Punisher went off streaming in 2019, Bernthal considers this, quote, just a toe dip of a reintroduction to the character. He says, it was like, let's see if this works, the actor tells Entertainment Weekly in an exclusive interview. Let's see if there's a real openness and a hunger to let Frank be what Frank is, which is dark enough to have the courage and the boldness to turn your back on the audience and to make it difficult, to make it enormously psychologically complex, and to steer away from any cuteness or humor and to really go full bore. Yes, what he said. Like, there's one thing you can tell when you hear any of these guys talk about their characters, whether it's these two or this guy, they fucking love the characters. They love playing the characters. They love what the characters are about, at least in terms of, like, story. I'm pretty sure D'Onofrio probably isn't a fan of, like, what Wilson Fisk is, but in terms of dynamics and shit, Wilson Fisk is got to be fun to play. So all three of them love the characters they play, for whatever reason. But yeah, these guys love their characters, and they fought for their characters, and they won. We continue. It already appears to be working. In addition to Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Marvel gave Bernthal the go-ahead to write and star in a standalone Punisher TV special in the vein of Werewolf by Night. Fuck yeah! So even though his big episode 4 moment only lasts a scene, at least for now, and an epic scene it is, Bernthal admits, I feel like it's opened the door to getting closer to the Frank Castle that I really, really want to portray. And I'm pretty sure the Frank Castle we all want him to really, or we want him to portray. Bernthal's owner union with his character wasn't quite as volatile as Mr. Murdoch's, but there was a time when it felt on shaky ground. It's no secret that Disney Plus's Daredevil Born Again underwent a significant overhaul after filming 6 episodes. Bernthal was approached with that first incarnation of the show, which felt more like a procedural and less connected to the mythology of the original Daredevil series on Netflix. Quote, ultimately, I didn't see it. I didn't see the version of Frank, and what they wanted from Frank didn't really make sense to me, and I thought would not appeal to the fans and wouldn't be congruent. It was not something I was really interested in doing, so we had to walk away. Yeah, so you heard that right. When offered the role of, the role of the Punisher, coming back as the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again, he obviously and intelligently requested to see what the fuck they wanted to do with the character, looked at it and said, no, thank you, no bueno, I ain't doing this shit. Like, obviously, he put it much more politely in the article, but that's basically what it was. It's like, y'all done fucked up this character, and I'm not playing him. Suck all of my dick. Down to the base. No. That's what he meant. After hiring new lead writers and bringing on Bernthal's The Punisher scribe and executive producer Dario Scartapane as showrunner, Marvel came back around. And this time, they were more collaborative with Bernthal in developing the character. They really brought me into the conversation, he says. We really got specific about where Frank is psychologically, where Frank's at physically. Bernthal credits Scartapane, second unit director Phil Silvera, who he says helped define Frank's physicality on Netflix's Daredevil. His stunt double Eric Linden and Nick Koumalatzos, a Marine Raider who Bernthal feels was instrumental both training-wise and psychologically. This combination gave way to the Frank that Bernthal wanted to deliver, which is the character he's seen resonate over the years across the comic book, military, and law enforcement communities. Sometimes you have to be very, very clear with your intentions in this business, he says. You can't get confused with how much you love something, how much you love playing something, how much you want to do something. You've got to make sure you're serving. You've got to make sure you're doing justice to the people that believe in it and doing justice to the iterations that have come before you. In Daredevil Born Again, Frank becomes the devil on the devil's shoulder. Like it. Though he may have maimed a few corrupt cops in his pursuit of justice, Matt Murdock is fighting to keep his inner demons in check. Then here comes the Punisher, who is barking for Daredevil to come back out to play. There's a little bit of Frank in all of us. I genuinely believe that, Bernthal remarks of this scene. Like that line, we're all one bad day away from being me. And that's true for many more people than would ever admit that. I would admit it. I am probably one, really super bad day away from doing very bad shit. Who's the chick from the Michigan ad? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, this? I have no idea. Why do I feel like she looks like Trump's press secretary? Of course, it could be our Secretary of State. Who the hell that is? Is that Michigan Secretary of State? Yeah, well, anyway. Okay. There's a little bit of Frank in... Okay, yeah, I read that. I think that Frank is seeing himself in Matt, and Matt knows that he's seeing Frank in himself, and there's a glee in that. But also, Frank really has no time for the gray. He has no time for figuring things out or obsessing over things. Frank really believes that the back and forth and the twisting and turning that Matt does is antithetical from his truth, and he knows it. For Frank, there's nothing like having that bit of wisdom over Matt and torturing him about it because he knows that he's right. I agree. Bernthal is now eager to do a lot more with this character. He reteams with director Ronaldo Marcus Green, who's at the helm of the Punisher TV special for Disney Plus, after the two collaborated on King Richard and We Own This City. The actor also says he brought back Kumalatzos as a consult, though Bernthal has been quietly working on a series about Shreveport, Louisiana, as well as another thing coming up. This Marvel special will be the first produced work based on something that he wrote. I went through the process, he says. I went in, I pitched. I gave an outline before I even put pen to page. And I felt like I did not want them to just hand it to me. They had read some of my writing, asked to come and do a pitch, so I did. And they've held me accountable to every step along the way. I really want to earn this, and I really want this to be good. The story that we've laid out is, I think, really special. It's the visceral, psychologically complex, unforgiving, no-holds-barred version of Frank where he's going to turn his back to the audience. And nothing is easy, and all violence has a cost, and we're going to see that cost. I'm grateful they're letting me go to the places that I really want to go. God, that sounds fucking awesome. Bernthal isn't sure just how much he can say about his future as the Punisher. Future as the Punisher. But he's grateful to have a hand on the wheel. What I really appreciate with these guys is that they have their vision, he adds, that they have an idea of where they want to go and the world in which they want him to exist. But they're really giving me agency on how we get him there and making sure that it's honest, good Lord, honest and authentic and truthful. So, a little bit of goods in there. So, first of all, item numero uno. After finding out what the first script was like for the original version of Born Again, he said, that's what he said. Like, that shit ain't gonna work. That ain't what the character's about. You turned the Punisher into the pussy. No, thank you. So between that, the strikes giving them time to really get a good look at it, and the pressure from Cox and D'Onofrio, and Bernthal saying no, we got an overhauled show. And thank God. Because something that's, and don't get me wrong, and I've said this in watch parties, I love me some procedurals. I enjoyed episode 3, which was basically a procedural episode. But while Matt being a lawyer is important, him in the costume is even more important. And the conflicting emotions it raises in him is much more important than what he does in a courtroom. Now, should his life as a lawyer be included? Oh yeah. Definitely. Because that also contributes to his emotional turmoil. But making a vast majority of a season of Daredevil a procedural? No. Bad idea. Bad idea. This is not Law and Order. This is a comic book show. It ain't just about courtrooms and holding cells and jails. It's partially about those. But it's also about Matt resolving or attempting to resolve his violent nature with the religion he was brought up in and his desire to work within the system, conflicting with his knowledge that the system fails way too often and that shit needs to be handled in some fashion or another. So yeah, we owe Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Jon Bernthal a great debt for their massive contributions in getting this show mostly redone. They saved this fucking show. Those three saved the show. El Dan says, my bet still stands that 5 will be another one without the costume, but 6 is going to be a banger. I'll say this. It would not surprise me that he does not don the horns in episode 5. That would not be a shock. But I also think that him not being in the suit precludes violence from happening. Like that whole bank robbery shit that we saw in the trailers. He's in his lawyer suit for all of that. And I feel like we could get that in episode 5. So I do agree that it is very likely that he will not be in the horns in episode 5. But I firmly believe he'll be whooping some ass regardless. It's just he'll be doing it in his civvies. There just says, I heard from YouTuber E-Man to keep expectations low for episode 5. That's probably why we're getting the double header next week. I mean, that's possible. E-Man's kind of big out there in the sphere. He may be one of the people privileged enough to get screeners, so he may know. He may know. I still think there's a good chance for violence, but I do agree with you, Delta Dan. There's also a really good chance that we don't see him in the horns till the final 4 episodes, which would be kind of a bummer. So I'm really hoping we get him at least whooping ass in his civvies in episode 5. So, but yeah, E-Man's pretty connected. E-Man is pretty connected. But yeah, we owe those 3 a boon. A debt we can never repay, except with our views. Film Threat said the same thing. Also, Karen back in 6. Yeah, I've heard rumblings of her coming back this season. I didn't think it was happening. Spoiler. Yeah, no shit, right? After I read it. But yeah, I've seen some rumblings about her coming back this season. I think it was the Beyond Reporter said something. the one. Bear with me, chat. Sorry about this. I thought it was about closer. God, it was about closer. All right, let me do it this way then. Where are you tonight? But you leave me here all alone. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. I found this. This is Matt and Karen. This is footage. These are stills from shooting on Daredevil season 2. Look at that wig. Look at that hair that Karen's rocking. Obviously, they don't want to be recognized. Son of a bitch, where'd it go? Damn it all. Oh well, fuck it. Phuket. Oh well. Oh, Dan says, I saw a really cool interview with Punisher and Karen actress on John's podcast. You talking about Campia? I guess Karen is a huge D&D nerd. She's a game master. Oh my. Deborah Ann Wall is a D&D nerd? Oh my god. And she was already fucking smoking hot and cool. Now she's even hotter and cooler. I don't know how you feel about. I'm pretty sure she's wearing a wig to try and be incognito. They're probably running away from someone, says Jorge. Yeah, something like that. Running away from, avoiding, investigating. Something along those lines. Got to be something along those lines for sure. What is that? Looks like Captain America and the Widow. It does kind of, yeah, from Winter Soldier. It does have that little bit of vibes. It does have that vibes. Oh, Bernthal's podcast? Oh, my bad. My bad. Itchy. Anywho. So, not only do we get confirmation that the actors helped save this show, but we got confirmation that Jon Bernthal is doing writing and producing. That's what I mean by doing a Disney Plus special presentation all about the Punisher. Now, just that in and of itself is enough for me to go, but the way he talked about it in that article, how he wants it to be full bore Frank Castle and like psychologically intense and all that stuff. It was like a 14-minute vid that popped up on my feed, says Delta Dan. She explains the whole game to him. Wow. If I ever go find that episode, I'll need lotion. And I'll just leave it there. Anywho, but yeah, the intensity. Well, first of all, just the intensity that Jon Bernthal has is awesome. The intensity he brings to the character is awesome. His devotion to the character is awesome. His respect for the character is awesome. His respect for those that came before him is awesome. Basically, every fucking word that came out of his mouth is awesome. At least for this guy. So we're getting obviously we're gonna get at least a little more Punisher in this season of Daredevil. We'll get even. You'll link it in Discord. Thank you. We'll get even more in season 2, I imagine. And of course, his own fucking special. Oh yes, 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 yes. I wonder how long it's going to take him to write it and for it to go into production. If he gets it written, what is this, March right now, right? If he gets it written by the end of the year, it could go into production. Yeah, we're probably still looking at 2027 before we see that special. Maybe late 26. Could be late 26. It's not like it's going to be a super... there's not going to have to be like anywhere near the amount of post and special effects for that show that you'd need in for a lot of other Marvel projects. So they actually could get that one done in a reasonably small amount of time. We could get it late 26. It all depends on how fast he gets that shit written. Lou! What's up, man? What's up, motherfucker? Wonder what the red hair could symbolize for Karen. Well, if you want to go Occam's razor, simplest answer to that is she's in disguise. Now, does it have to be that? No. It could be something a lot deeper. You know, a representation of her life changes or, you know, something along those lines. But to me, the simplest answer is wig, disguise. But we'll see. Next year. We get season 2 next year, folks. They're filming it right now, as illustrated by that picture, those pictures. We shall see. We'll probably know beforehand. There'll be leaks. And of course, I will talk about them because I enjoy that. And you guys are here, so you must enjoy it at least a little bit too. So, with all that being said, let us talk about last night's episode just a little bit. Shall we? Shall we get into that? Let's get into that. So, overall, beginning to end, I give the episode a 9. It does have flaws. The things, I mean, obviously, the acting was top notch all the way around. Thanks, Delta Dan. The scene with the niece in the morgue, that young lady acted her fucking ass off in that scene. And even in the weird situations D'Onofrio was put in while he was buzzing around the city, you know, with the kids and all that stuff. Uh, did that shit really need to be in there? No. But I would say D'Onofrio himself made the most of it. Watching Kingpin run from out of tune kids singing was hilarious, honestly. Um, also, I don't blame him. The whole fiddle faddle thief, that didn't really need to be in there either. I mean, I understand why it's in there. It's in there for a couple reasons. One, the writers obviously wanted to make a statement on their opinion of the justice system. Okay, cool. I'm actually mostly in agreement. Our justice system, while still, like in terms of, you know, in global terms, still one of the better systems out there. But it's still pretty fun. So obviously they wanted to talk about that. They could have included it also, just for, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to emphasize the dichotomy that Matt's going through right now, his split feelings, like his desire to work within the system. While also seeing the massive flaws in the system, which led him to put on the suit in the first place. So I would say that's probably the main point of it, but they were definitely making a statement too. The choir scene reminded you Secret Invasion exists? You're going to need to explain that one. You lost me on that one, Your Honor. You lost me on that one. Oh, it's because someone mentioned. No, that's right. Someone did say the word Skrull. Was it the dude that was in jail for stealing the fiddle faddle? Is he the one that brought up the Skrull? Someone brought up a Skrull. Now that you mention it, yeah. I prefer to let the Skrulls remind me of Captain Marvel rather than Secret Invasion. I mean, Captain Marvel's decent. That movie does not come out between Infinity War and Endgame. It does not make $1 billion. Let's be real. If that movie does not come out when it comes out, timing is everything. That movie does not make $1 billion. That was his defense. Oh yeah, that's right. So, but if I'm going to think about Skrulls, I will definitely think about that movie, much more than I will think about that fucking abomination of a show. Yeah, so I'm sure that part, that I guess you'd call it C plot, maybe B plot, had a couple different reasons for being in there. I liked the interplay when Matt was trying to work out a deal with that assistant district attorney, who was also extremely attractive, by the way. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but she looked good. That ADA looked good. I enjoyed that scene. The interplay between the characters, the back and forth. I thought that was an enjoyable scene, and I'm a big fan of nice bouncy back and forth dialogue like what those two were having. That's like one of the things that I really like. So I enjoyed that scene immensely. Daniel Ha. You don't say that. Guy is the strongest Avenger. You stop that shit right now. God damn it. Don't say that. Especially not if you ever want a wrench. Now you'll get one. You're pretty regular now. I swear everyone in my chat's going to end up with a wrench. Until I find a way to blow up a little bit. They'll dance. Oh, I noticed. Yeah. Guy went to another universe to never return. Oh, please let that be true. Executive Judge says Murdoch working on that blind justice charm on the prosecutor was Chef's kiss, wasn't it though? And she wants to check out his cane, and I don't mean the one he be tapping around when he walks. C-Dub! What up, man? What up? Executive Judge says he had more chemistry with her than his actual girlfriend. I mean, I don't know about more, but it's definitely different. But she definitely, she wants to find out how blind men work it. At least that particular blind man, that ADA wants to smash Matt Murdock. Let's just be real. At least that's how it seemed like she's being written and played. So that scene was fun. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten that scene without the dude getting arrested in the first place. So cool. No, I'm not talking about the plastic stick. At least I hope not. You never know, she could be freaky. Hanging out eating some fiddle faddle, says C-Dub. Nice. I'm doing alright, man. How you doing? How are you doing tonight, C-Dub? She was checking him out when he left too. Oh yeah, that's right. She kind of was. But he ain't Steve Rogers. He does not have America's ass. Excuse me. So, but yeah, that was a fun little scene. Now, I know there are people out there who do not dig the Fisk Valerie therapy scenes. I, however, enjoy them. I think they're really important to show us where those two are at in relation to each other and their individual goals. Del Dan says, Matt has all there is. All his women are dimes. I mean, that's true. The psychologist is also quite fucking attractive. So, then we get to Matt doing some detective work in the alley where Hector Ayala was biggity blasted, finding the shell casing, which, since the Dirty Cop had the Punisher's logo on it, which of course Matt, with his uber heightened sense of touch, could feel the imprint of it on the shell. He decided he needed to go find him some Frank Castle. Judge says, crazy that Vanessa was enjoying reminiscing about Adam. The fingers comment had me feeling that was kind of, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, so, and then we get not just the best scene in this episode, not just the best scene in this show, this particular show so far, not just the best scene in all the live action Daredevil. This was one of the best scenes in all of comic book movie / showdom ever fucking done. Oh, sorry, buddy. Mommy got to roll over. But, yeah, the Frank and Matt scene, so well written, so well acted, just crazy good. The way Frank was just digging into him verbally. Like, Frank was telling Matt shit he already knew. Like, Matt's in he's doing his damnedest, but he's rocking denial. That scene was just ridiculous. Frank dug into Matt so fucking hard, getting after him to say Foggy's name, getting him to punch him. You know, speaking to Matt's actual truth rather than trying to avoid it. Daredevil says it almost rivaled the rooftop scene in season 2 of the Netflix Daredevil. Not as good, but dang near contention for it. I would have to go back and watch that. I haven't watched. I did not. I did not do a rewatch of the Netflix Daredevil before this show started. But yeah, that scene. I mean, if it wouldn't get me copy struck, I would totally rewatch it with you guys together just because it's that goddamn good. But that scene is just goddamn good. It's crazy how good that scene is. And those two, I mean, those two were fucking gold playing off each other in the Netflix show. And nothing has changed about that. That gold is still shiny. Oh, you just remember it that well? Must be nice. So, but yeah, that scene. That scene broke the dial. It was so fucking good. And then we got a couple looks at Muse, which was cool. I would have hoped for a little bit more. I mean, we got 2 scenes of him carrying somebody. And then in the second scene of him carrying somebody, we get to watch that somebody get put on a table, wake up, see bodies hanging from chains, and then get a machine jammed into his femoral artery to drain his blood. Like, nothing super gruesome at all. Now, we're going to get more Muse, obviously. And I'm sure we are going to get some pretty decent viscera and some gore from Muse, because I will lose my goddamn mind if we don't, because of all the bragging that Dario Scartapane did about how bloody this show is. You better not have been lying, and we better get some pretty fucked up stuff from Muse. That's all I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to more Muse. I was just hoping for just a little bit more in the introduction, but that's okay. Like, I'm not bitching. I'm just wishing for just a little more. So that's pretty much it for Muse. Now, how they ended the show. After, of course, Matt smashes the psychiatrist, Heather. Her name should be easy to remember. That's Mrs. Jones' name. So after Matt smashes Heather, we start to get a back and forth between him and Fisk. We got him lying in bed awake, looking tortured. We got Fisk sitting down to what looked like an absolutely fucking delicious dinner. Oh my god. Fucking penne pasta, marinara, cheese, sausage, cheese. I wanted to reach through the screen and just take that fucking plate. But yeah, so we have Matt lying in bed looking tortured. Then we get Fisk sitting down to dinner in front of the painting that Matt splashed his blood all over, hung on a brick wall, looks kind of underground. And right across from the table, is a cell, which contains a dude named Adam. Adam being the one that was fucking Vanessa, while Wilson was off recovering from getting shot in the face by Echo. At the end of Hawkeye. And then we get Matt getting up, going up to the roof, opening a door where we get to see Daredevil masks. And then he closes that door. And then he grabs out his batons. And then he starts warming up the skills. Meanwhile, we have Fisk sitting there eating while Adam screams at him to be released. So basically, what we have is those two, along with Frank. If you remember his expression at the end of that scene, he looked like he was coming to a crossroads as well. A turning point in his life as well. So we have Frank coming to some realizations, we have Matt coming to some realizations, and we have Fisk coming to some realizations. Or is completely erased Hawkeye's end from my mind. Just the parallels they're drawing between those three, how they're getting drawn back into their, well, I mean, it's not like Punisher ever left his violent nature per se, but he's going to be drawn back into action. And Fisk and Matt are going to be drawn back into their the violent sides. I don't know if y'all remember from the trailer, but there's a couple shots of Fisk whooping some ass in that exact room. I'm pretty sure that's going to be what he does to Adam probably next episode. And then, of course, whether he suits up or not, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Matt doing some violence next episode, too. And then, you know, the rest of the season is going to be them becoming their true selves again. Fisk is going to, well, he's going to beat the shit out of Adam for starters. I'm sure he'll get up to even more chicanery and no good, despite all his good intentions at trying to be a good mayor. Okay, he has some good intentions. Obviously, he's not above fucking with people. See the commissioner and being blackmailed with his side family. But yeah, so the three most violent characters in the show are all coming to turning points / crossroads where they're realizing they're going to have to engage in some fucking violence. They're going to have to give in to their natures. And I, for one, am fucking here for it. These cops are about that life. Punisher tats and Punisher logos on bullets. Yep. And the Punisher logo on that vest of whoever shot Hector. I still think it was the homie that Matt accosted, the same dude. The one cop that didn't get his arm broken when they went after the witness. Can't remember his fucking name. Despite his denial, and well, yeah, they seemed to confirm it with Matt listening to his heartbeat and it not going crazy like people's tend to do when they lie, but it's not a guarantee. Dude could have good control over his shit. So they're at least making it look like he actually was not the one that pulled the trigger. I don't personally buy it. I think we're going to find out that he was the one that pulled the trigger, but I could very easily be wrong. That diner scene with Matt and Fisk really sets up the end of episode 40. Yeah, it really does. Fisk isn't one to go against his word. He promised Vanessa he wouldn't kill him. I never said he'd kill him. I just said he'd beat the ever-loving holy fuck out of him. He never promised he wouldn't do that. He'll probably beat the shit out of him and then throw him back in the fucking cell. Let him heal up some and then do it again. I mean, we've seen his knuckles skinned up already prior to that scene at the end of episode 4, so it would not surprise me if that's what he's been doing this whole time. keeping Adam in that cell, coming down there to visit, eat a dinner, and then kick the shit out of him for a while, and then put him back in the cell. Excuse me. Welcome back, good sir, Mr. Brennan. So, yeah, I think things are only going to increase in intensity for these last 5 episodes of the show. Now, how much the intensity will increase in each episode will probably vary. Let's be honest. Adam the meat punching bag. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I think's been going on anyway. um, but yeah, so shit's gonna start getting real for these last 5 episodes. Now, again, the pace at which it happens in each individual episode will probably vary. Like, you know, we've talked about earlier, the word on episode 5 is it's you know, some people have called it filler, some people have like keep your expectations low. I don't know if we need to go quite that far with it. I doubt it's going to be filler, and I doubt we need to keep our expectations like low. But from the perspective of someone who's looking for this show to just pop off and go way more actiony and the story to fly by, I already forgot. I hate it when that happens. I lost my train of thought in the middle of my fucking sentence. Fuck was I talking about? He was Vanessa's meat punching bag too, if you get my drift, says executive judge. Oh yeah, right. The violence. Okay, yeah. Episode 5. That's what I was talking about. Right. I'm sure for those who are just hoping for like very little character shit and a butt ton of action, they probably should keep their expectations a bit lower for episode 5. I feel like episode 5 is going to be kind of the warm-up. Like a true warm-up. We got like the beginnings of the warm-up at the end of episode 4. I think episode 5 is going to be a ratcheting up of the warm-up. And then episode 6 through 9 are going to be nuts. That's what I think. Might be more what I hope than truly think. Maybe I might be fanboy dreaming, but I'll just say I can see it going that way. I could also very easily be incorrect. So, but that's what I think. Or at a minimum, that's how I would do it. What y'all think, though? How do you see this shit going? I have absolutely no idea how this bitch is going to end yet. Like, if they've set it up, they've set it up more subtly than I have been able to pick up at this point. I have no idea how this fucking season's going to end. I think it'll be crazy. I think it'll be intense. I just don't know. Executive Judge says, I'm mixed on episode 4. It was good, but it felt like more setup than progress. Love the scene between Matt and Frank, though. Belt Dan says, I think I'm going to grab a drink. Okay. Yeah, there was definitely some setup. Yeah, I would agree that there was not a shit ton of progress. Like, the story moved a bit, but not like a ton. I will agree with that. its flaws. Like there's some shit I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say I didn't like it, but I'm like, could have left it. But I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just could have. I just wouldn't have missed it. No, that's just a bunch of bullshit. Okay. All right. That's what I was doing. I don't have anything there. That's a neat particular part. Let's go over here. What? Who do you think you're talking to like that, cat? Cat's over here being yappy. You're out, Jorge. Well, thanks for coming by, man. It was good to see you. Come on back on Saturday if you can. Any Power Rangers fans in here? Just out of curiosity. I ask because of this little tidbit. And Power Rangers are nerdy. They qualify. From Umberto Gonzalez. Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schatz in talks to write, produce, and showrun a live-action Power Rangers series at Disney+. Now, I dug the Power Rangers when they first come out. They came out my senior year of high school, freshman year of college, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, that show was fun. It was pretty fun. So I think it's cool that they're trying to bring it back. I don't know how well they're going to do. I don't know what kind of vibe they're going to get. I don't know how close they're going to try and stay to the original. I will just say I find the concept interesting. Didn't like the popcorn guy side quest for Matt. Don't see where that fit in the story. The first half felt chopped up, but the second half was very good. Frank and Matt, actors are so good together. Yeah, the side quest I could have done without. I didn't hate it. Again, I don't know if you were here, but I look at the side quest like this. It was in there for one reason. Was to cause more conflicted emotion in Matt, because again, Matt's trying so hard to just work within the system and not be a vigilante anymore. And then this guy was an example of how goofy the system can be, which of course is going to make Matt even more conflicted. And of course, it was probably also a general statement on the justice system overall. I think those are the two biggest reasons they're in there, or that that side quest was in there. I think they could have done it differently. I don't think they needed that, but I didn't hate it. Oh, he had a crush on the Pink. Yeah, who didn't have a crush on the Pink Ranger, Delta Dan? Like, for reals. She looked good back then. But yeah, that's where I stand on that on the side quest. Here's a fun little doodad. DC Comics announces, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about that. About this, DC Comics announces new history of the DC universe, a 4-issue series launching this June. The book is writer Mark Waid's retelling of DC's history and will feature a rotating cast of artists, with Jerry Ordway and Todd Nauck working on the premiere issue. A retelling of DC's history, the new history of the DC universe. 4 issues. Now, is it a retelling, or like, how big is this retcon going to be? Because they say retelling, but what it is, it's a retcon. If you're changing history, it's a fucking retcon. Okay? Like, that's just what it is. Retroactive continuity. You're changing shit from before. Retcon. Now that we're done translating the corporate speak, how do you guys feel about DC getting a new history this summer? Someone's going to have to remind you when it's out, but you're interested, Brooke? Well, June. I mean, unless I see it come up again closer to June on my Twitter feed, I'll fucking forget about it too. Like, real talk. That's what's going to happen. But I think it's interesting. I think they're going to have to be very, very careful on how much they change it and who they change. Like, if they fuck with the Trinity too much, they're going to have problems. Like, they're going to have big problems. But I do find the concept highly intriguing. Now, I don't know if the... Like, I wonder what the purpose is. Like, is this going to be a retcon to allow for the absolute universe to come into prominence? Like, why are they even doing this in the first place? I think that's the bigger question. Or at least just as pertinent as what are they planning? What are they planning and why are they doing it? Those are things we do not know. And just the one bit of speculation I can come up with is this is going to allow for a better integration of the Absolute line, which is fucking popping off. By the way, if you didn't know, the Absolute line is popping the fuck off. And now they just added the Flash. So they're working on an Absolute Justice League for sure. So I feel like this could be an avenue in which to mainstream the Absolute line. Maybe not. It's entirely possible that it's not, but that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my bald dome here. Daniel says they should just wait till after they sell to a new parent company. You think DC's gonna sell to somebody the way Marvel got bought by Disney? You think that's gonna happen to DC? Well, I don't know about the comics gonna have to sell to a new parent company. Now, Warner Brothers might have to shutter DC Studios when they get sold. Because I don't care what anyone tells me. David Zaslav's ultimate goal is to sell Warner Brothers. Everything he's done has been to pare it down and lean it down. And while that is generally a good business practice, most times when it's done this aggressively is because a motherfucker wants to sell. So, yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering again, why they're doing it in the first place and what they're going to do. How much are they going to change? Got a new logo for Beyond the Spider-Verse and a website. I love this first comment. Set to release 2042. I mean, it kind of fucking seems like it, doesn't it? But I know you're probably thinking like, oh, who the fuck cares? And mostly I would agree, but at this point in time, any kind of progress, I'm glad to see. Even if it's as minimal as the logo. Yeah, he ruined the end of Hot D Season 2 with budget cuts? Yes, he did. And you want to talk about setup. That was a whole season of fucking setup. Like, fuck's sake. I mean, I loved each episode individually as television episodes. Loved it. When you consider the season as a whole and what they accomplished, you motherfuckers. But, yeah, so even something small like this, any progress, any sign of progress with this movie, I'm fucking happy to see. Even if it is as extraordinarily minimal as a new logo. Oh, here's one for those of you who have been converted by Justin into liking the show. School Spirits has been renewed for season 3. Invincible season 2 was set up. Kinda. Like, here's the thing. I have a bit of a different perspective on season 2 because I didn't start watching Invincible until after they had released the second half of season 2. I finally got tired of hearing about how good it was, so I started watching it. And I did not get caught up with it until, yeah, I think a little bit after season 2 was over. So yeah, I didn't see it, like, people that watched it as it came out with like the fucking 3-month or whatever fucking break it was in the middle after waiting 3 years for that. Yeah, it probably did seem a bit disjointed. When you binge it, it's not so bad. No, not an anime. Live action TV show. First season is on Netflix. Second season's still only on Paramount Plus, and evidently season 3 is going to be a Paramount Plus. Evidently it started on Paramount Plus. Or they got it from Netflix, which I doubt. School Spirits totally sounds like an anime. It does kind of. Oh, that's the Cobra Kai chick, says Delta Dan. I've been trying to watch School Spirits, but there are too many shows and not enough time. I mean, that's fucking facts. Like, I've got so many. I've got shows to finish. I've got shows to start. Oh my god, it's insane how much shit there is out there that is to watch, and then that I want to watch, and how much of it I don't have no clue about that I also would probably be interested in if I knew about it. It's insane the amount of shit out there to watch. You guys in the mood to laugh at Disney for being stupid? Snow White is eyeing a $45 to $50 million opening at the domestic box office. The film's budget was $270 million. First of all, before we laugh at Disney for allowing Rachel Zegler to fuck this movie up and making ugly-ass, weird-ass looking, creepy-ass dwarves. $270 million on fucking Snow White. Are you out of your goddamn mind? What the actual fuck are we doing here? Like, that's considered a high budget for a Marvel movie. And you dropped $270 million on Snow fucking White? What the hell? And now it's only a $45 to $50 million opening weekend domestically. I would not be surprised if this movie loses Disney some money as well. $270 million on Snow White. You know what? Maybe Disney fucked up. Maybe they flipped the numbers and are just whatever sticking with it. Maybe after all the reshoots, Brave New World was $270 million and Snow White was only $180. Please look in Discord and share what? Hold on, let me pull up Discord. You don't like Miss Lord Farquaad? Oh, that's funny. Snow White seemed like it was always going to be a disaster. I mean, yeah, it didn't. It looked not that great early on because there was the whole controversy about. I'm getting there, Delta Dan, but you know, there was the whole controversy about the dwarves. You know, whether or not to hire actual little people or go with CG dwarves, which is basically what they did, and then they designed them all fucked up. And then, of course, Rachel Zegler had to open her fucking yapper. Okay. Oh my lord. That's hysterical. Thank you for that, Delta Dan. People said Gal Gadot's performance is horrible. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, she got. You can buy those basically. 25 G's guarantees you a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I found that out. Because we all know she didn't get it for her fucking acting. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Whoa! Whoa! That was wild. That's funny as shit. Wait a minute. Bernthal is goofy as fuck here. Holy shit. Why does he look so small and thin? No, whatever. But yeah, $270 million on Snow White. And obviously a lot of it going to shitty dwarf CGI. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's about it. Gonna be a bit of a shorter stream tonight, but there's not that much news out there right now. At least not that much recent news. I'm not delving back into week old fucking news. No, y'all already know about it. So, chat, it's up to you. What do y'all want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm diggity dipping. It's a good interview, though, says Delta Dan. I put Deborah Ann Woll on my cheat list after it. Haha. Oh, dude, she's been on my list since True Blood. You ever watched True Blood? My God, she is fucking hot in that show. Holy shit. Yeah, she's been on my cheat list for like. Fucking. When the hell was True Blood out? Like 09 it premiered, so. She popped up, I think, in the second. Was she in the first season? I don't know. So yeah, roughly, I've been. She's been on my list for about 15 years. Yeah. Oh, she is fine as fuck. Did we ever talk about the finale of Invincible? No, we actually did not. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, because I was in Vegas at the time. Yeah. Holy yes. You watched True Blood with your ex and then again with your wife. Okay. No, we never did. It's because I was in Vegas. I watched it. Holy fuck, that was crazy. That shit was seriously intense. I fucking loved it though. I'd have to rewatch it to be able to talk about it in any kind of good detail. Things I remember the most. What's his name? Conqueror. Fucking shit up. Left, right, and center. Completely without conscience. The way he fucked Eve up, I was like, damn. Well, fucked her up twice. You trolled Finto hard with that? Be a big Adam Eve fan? Yeah, I was like, God damn! They did that? I mean, then they brought her back. But still, the wreckage was impressive. Her fucking jaw blasted off to one side, that big old fucking hole through her torso. It was crazy. Yeah, I didn't think she was either. Delta Dan, I did not think she was. I was like, they just fucking killed Adam Eve. What the fuck? But no. And I'm glad that they didn't kill her. And of course, I've never read the comics, so I have absolutely no idea what's happening in the show or going to happen in this show. Evidently, next season there's some big Viltrumite villain dude named Thrag that's already been cast. I saw that on TwitX the other day. But again, never read the comics, know nothing about him. They ended a comic with her death. Oh. So is this something they're just doing in the show, or did she make that same kind of miraculous recovery in the comic? Like, has Kirkman taking liberties with the shit he put on the page? They brought her back. Okay. Cool. I mean, I can definitely see. Finale was nearly shot for shot. Yeah, I saw someone. Again, I think it was on Twitter. I watched a quick little video about. It was laying out stills from the episode and panels from the comic, and yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, that finale was fucking awesome. Why was Eve's clothes so gooey at the end? I'm not quite sure what you mean by gooey. I'd have to rewatch that motherfucker. But if I had to guess, just I would say it probably has to do with how she constructed them, with her atom manipulation ability. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it can get kind of. You're right, Delta Dan. True Blood can get kind of soap opera like at times, and I will say, seeing Anna Paquin get naked and freaky kind of threw me the first couple times I saw her do that because Rogue. But I was like, yeah, damn. I always wondered how much Anna Paquin, how well Rogue would grow up, and based on that show, she grew up good. Yeah, that threw me off when Anna Paquin first started the first time seeing her in the sexy time scenes. It did throw me for a loop. I mean, I got used to it, but it did initially throw me for a loop. I mean, I like I like vampires in general, so I was already inclined to watch it. How long till Invincible next season? I don't know. Kirkman promised it wouldn't be anywhere near as long as the wait as between season 2 and season 3. Oops. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, there is no set release date. He said the goal, Kirkman said there's no set date, but Kirkman's goal is for it to come out next year. So, potentially next year. The goal is next year. Yeah, Sookie. Sookie. Some pink ooze was on the floor in the season 3 finale when Mark and Eve were porking. I missed that, but I don't know. Maybe it's a hint of potential issues with her to come. Maybe. Oh, and a werewolf. Don't forget Joe Manganiello, Delta Dan, and that huge man with that small woman was crazy to see. Joe Manganiello's a goddamn monster. Yeah, Daniel, go ahead. Give me a small spoiler. I assume you're talking about Invincible. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. Oh, okay. That's what the goo is. All right. Okay, so not the way I thought it might be an issue with. Okay. All right. Well, that won't make anything tense at all. It's not like there's anything major going on at all. No big deal that where there's going to be a baby and a pregnancy in the mix. Not a big deal at all. That's going to, wow. It's going to create a lot of interesting character shit. That's for fucking sure. Now, you think it'll happen in season 4? Who's Joe Manganiello's wife? Oh, Sofia Vergara? Oh, hell yeah. Most definitely. Yes, Suki meaning rogue from OG X-Men. That's correct. Suki. Gotta say it. You gotta say it how the homie says it. Suki. Suki meaning rogue from OG X-Men. Yep. Suki. I need to rewatch that show. I wonder if it's on Max. Yep, Anna Paquin. Yeah, it threw me off because she still had rogue face, but she had full-grown woman body. It was a little weird for a couple of scenes. I got over it, which shouldn't be a shock. I am a bit of a gooner, I have to admit it. Bit of a gooner. Not a creepy ass massive gooner, but a little bit. There's a little bit gooner in there. It is on Max. Nice. I'd love to get back into that, but like I said, I'm behind on so much shit. I don't have time to rewatch something I've already watched. At least not right now. Unfortunately. You don't have Max? Well, technically, I don't have Max. I just have access to Max. I have to put it that way. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on the fuck up out of here. Yes, I know. I normally go for at least another hour. Sorry, y'all are getting a lower stamina chilling tonight for a couple of reasons. One, it's not that much to talk about, unfortunately. And two, I'm still goddamn tired from being in Vegas for 4 days. Pretty sure. So yes, I believe she did marry Bill in real life. I believe she did. Now, I don't know if it's still going, but yeah, I believe definitely one time they were married. Suki. I forgot to say it correctly. Let me reread your chat. I'm pretty sure Suki married Bill in real life. And what's really hilarious is in real life, Bill is British. I about shit myself the first time I heard him in an interview. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, Bill is British. He's a British actor. We're all bumming off of streaming services? Yeah. Only reason I have Max is because it comes with my cell phone bill, says Delta Dan. Well, the only reason I still have Netflix is because T-Mobile is covering half of it for me. Like, the second they don't, I'm done with that motherfucker. Like, isn't like the lowest tier now over $20 for Netflix? Or is there still one below 20? Because whatever that, I'll end up with that. If I keep Netflix, I'm going to end up with ads in like fucking 720p feeds. But yeah, I ain't giving them motherfuckers over $20 a month. I don't love them that much. That has to be a wig. You talking about Karen with the red hair in the season 2 picture? Is that what you're talking about, Brennan? $17.99 is the cheapest one. Jesus fuck. Yeah, I may get rid of Netflix and engage in alternatives. $17.99 without ads. Oh, okay. Well, that makes it slightly more palatable, but not much. Well, if they have an ad tier below that, that's probably the one I'm gonna end up with when T-Mobile stops contributing. Yep. Okay. For reals this time. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I love y'all. I am always grateful to you all for hanging out here. Again, whether you're live now, lurking, or in the chat, or whether you were kind enough to click on the video replay, thank you for engaging with my channel. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for being awesome motherfuckers. Never played D&D? I enjoy it very much. So, much love, y'all. Much gratitude, y'all. And hopefully, I will see you guys right back here Saturday night at 9 p.m. for the regular Saturday night stream. So, I bid thee adieu, good chat and good replay watcher. Thank you. Peace. Oh, yes, chat. A lovely time was had. I believe by all of us. And yes, Brennan, there's a little gooner in all of us. Yes, there is. But yeah, I had fun. I hope y'all had fun. I hope to see y'all again on Saturday. I hope y'all have a good rest of your week. And I hope you'll remember this one thing. And that is, excuse me, wherever you're at and whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy. All right, much love, y'all. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Later.